source.
Monday, everybody. Welcome on in. I'm Dave Allgood, your gracious host, along with me, Melissa Fry, chief meteorologist and just all-around fun person and great mom.
I like how my title has just extended.
I try. Well, there's a lot. You do so much here, and then I don't know what you do out there, but I know you have kids and a husband, and you're like your soccer mommy.
Okay,
and you
that's enough.
Juice
We've
boxes
got things
and
to get to.
Yeah. Your car's full of orange peels. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, we're glad you're here, and we're glad you're here on a Monday. We got a story, an all-good news story about a lady in Kenai that drove a bus for, get this, 50 years. And so she's finally retiring, and I got a chance to talk to her via Zoom, and that'll be a fun little all-good news story coming up.
Nice. Looking forward to that. Also, here in Anchorage, we have moose that get through the neighborhood, the occasional lynx or bear that can cause a nuisance. But I personally have never encountered a wild turkey. But we have a story for you today about a turkey that's just making himself at home in a neighborhood, and the residents are saying it's time to go.
I heard they can be a little aggressive. Yeah, a little aggressive. So anyway, the weather's been incredibly nice. I washed my car this weekend. Like I said, I jokingly, have talked about mowing my grass.
Yes. Yeah, it's been warm, but that can be a bad thing too.
Yep.
And washing your car might not last for very long. Yeah, because we're going to see kind of a sloppy mess here this week. Temperatures.
All right, thanks a lot, Melissa. Here are 4 of your top headlines at 4. One person died after a hit and run in Spenard. Anchorage police say they were called just after midnight today to the 4800 block of Spenard. The pedestrian was taken to a local hospital but died from their injuries. Police ask anyone with information, including surveillance footage of the area, to call dispatch at the non-emergency line 311. A man accused of killing 2 people in Delta Junction turned himself into Fairbanks police and told them he shot a dog. Alaska State Troopers say 33-year-old Daniel Surkoff told police he killed a dog, but upon further questioning, they also linked him to a double homicide. Early Friday afternoon, troopers found the 2 men and the dog. They say the victims died from multiple gunshot wounds. Surkoff was arrested and charged with murder. One of the young men who was missing in western Alaska is now getting medical treatment in Anchorage. Alaska State Troopers say 18-year-old Josiah Ballett of Selawik was found Friday afternoon after being missing since Monday, January 16th. Ballett was suffering from severe frostbite. Teams continue to search for 18-year-old Thomas Brown. The 2 had left Kotzebue early Monday morning, headed to Norvik by snow machine. Well, the FDA says it wants COVID boosters to be more like flu shots. They say it would simplify the process. It would mean designing a dose to fight the most predominant strain of that year and offering it in the fall. Some people with certain risk factors might need 2 doses. The FDA's Vaccine Advisory Committee is meeting later this week to talk about that plan. Well, he got swept out by the Gulf Stream while diving, but his mother wouldn't give up on him. How his family found him just in a nick of time. That story's up next.
This newscast is brought to you in part by Bailey's Furniture.
Welcome back. A terrified family does everything it can after a young man doesn't come up from his dive. The rescue mission to save Dylan in Key West after he gets swept up in the Gulf Current.
There he is!
That truly is a miracle to be in the ocean and be found. All right, here's a look at what's coming up at 5 here on CBS 5. It's Monday. Everybody smile in jazz hands because we had snow, and I thought we had a little rain, Melissa, but I'm probably wrong.
No, I think you might be right. We've been seeing that fluctuation between snow and rain as we get into the end of the week, Dave.
Yeah, wet and sloppy. It's warmer than it is for a lot of my friends in Colorado.
Yeah, isn't that crazy how that works out?
Yeah,
in a while.
All right, thanks a lot, Melissa. The hunted becomes the hunter. The wild bird in Minnesota that's making life miserable in one neighborhood. There he is right there. Gobble, gobble. Hello, everybody. A big bird in Minnesota is wearing out its welcome. Neighbors say a wild turkey is actually terrorizing them.
Yeah, and chasing down cars, among other things. Kirsten Mitchell has a story on Reggie/Gladys.
We named it Reggie.
We're trying really hard not to laugh.
Well,
this is a very serious situation.
They're very serious, but the camera guy, which I love, made her do a stand-up in front of the turkey.
Right next
so
to the
she's
turkey.
terrorized, going, we're really scared of this turkey. And he's right behind her going, oh, you wait till this is done. Oh, I'm going to be nice now.
Yeah, I know. They feel like they can't go out of their homes. That's a tough thing.
Well, she talked about a barbecue. What's for dinner? What's for dinner? Turkey. Anyway, wildlife officials say it's important not to feed wild animals. Not that we needed to tell you that, but we did. All right, a star-studded event. The celebrities and fans who showed up at Graceland over... Friends, celebrities, families, and fans gathered at Graceland over the weekend to say a final goodbye to Lisa Marie Presley. Priscilla Thompson gives us the highlights from that service.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
She's only 10, but already on the path to becoming a detective. A girl from Rhode Island sent in some evidence for DNA testing to local police. She wanted to see if Santa Claus is real. Here's R.J. Heim reporting from Cumberland.
Cumberland.
She is a rebel without a clause, and Santa's real. Santa's real. Okay. All right. Melissa's in the Weather Center with our statewide forecast, right? Melissa, Santa's real.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know why I'm whispering. All right.
I do want to show you what's going on here across day, but I'll have more details, Dave, on that full extended forecast here in just a few minutes.
Who doesn't love deets, as I call them, or the kids call them, deets?
The deets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Question for you. So when the sun comes up, does it go right back down because it's the first one of the year?
Yes, it was up for an hour and 11 minutes, and it just stayed right on the horizon. It didn't really even come up.
So no little curve. All right.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm learning something new every day. All right. This is that time of the year when people start reevaluating their New Year's resolutions. Tracy Sinclair is in with a few ideas on how to keep it going.
We are starting 2023.
Good job, Tracy Sinclair. Good tips, too. All right, you can also listen to extended versions of our interviews with our experts on our podcast, In-Depth Alaska. Check it out. You won't be sorry. All right, the wheels on the bus go round and round, and for one Kenai woman, they went round and round on the bus she drove for 50 years. Her story coming up on the Allgood News. Hello. I just wanted to do that kind of way. Hello. Hello, everybody. All right, Colleen Pooh of Kenai is retiring after half a century of sitting behind the wheel of a school bus.
This is just amazing to me. I mean, driving a school bus for 50 years either takes a saint or, in Colleen's case, just a person who really loves what she does. Here's today's All Good News.
After being on the planet for 80 trips around the sun, with 50 of those trips behind the orbital wheel of a school bus, Colleen Pugh of Kenai knew it was time.
Dave, after all, I'm 80 years old. I'm 80 years old now, Dave. I think it's time to retire.
But Colleen, she's spry. Her boss, Neil, never believed her when...
She's been threatening to retire for the last 5 or 6 years and has not done so. So I didn't believe her when she said she was going to retire this year.
All this started a half a century ago.
50 years. I started in 1972.
1972. Gas was just 36 cents a gallon. The band Kiss was formed and Silly String was invented.
50 years later, finally retired.
Wow. Talk about, I mean, who was president? Nixon? Was Nixon president when you started?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't know. Must have been. Who was president in 70?
It was Nixon. And to get a feel for just how long Colleen was behind the wheel of a bus...
And I drove my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren.
I really like Colleen, but getting this interview, she made me work.
You're silly.
I'm glad you like
Are you there?
it. Let's tell everybody how we got started the other day when I called you.
Thank you very much. I don't do anything over the phone, and I hung up on you.
Oh, my
I was
goodness.
like, okay.
But that's Colleen. No nonsense and a sense of humor. So why does someone drive a school bus for 50 years?
Love. That children love to be loved.
Love. Colleen loves her kids and those small moments of joy she could bring before and after school.
It's important to children. I always told my children to have a good day. Every child that got off of my bus, I told them to have a good day.
So her boss and friends, they showed Colleen some love last week.
When I walked back there and saw all of my friends and past friends that I had drove bus with, I was in tears. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that they pulled this on me because I know everything.
50 years of giving love and rides to generations. This celebration was a moment to embrace Colleen on her one last bus stop into the sunset.
The last day of school, my kindergartners and first graders had me crying so hard on the bus because they were like, please, Miss Colleen, please don't leave us. Please don't leave us. And I cried and cried.
And that's the All Good News.
Yeah, she's really gonna. I know, she was crying.
That is amazing.
Yeah, she's really gonna miss her kids. Colleen not only hung up on me once, but I called her back, and then she said she didn't have time because she had a lunch to go to.
Oh,
and then
busy.
yes, she was very, very busy.
Yes, I love that. So as for retirement for Colleen, she says she'll still occasionally drive an activity bus, and she loves to fish and kayak, and lots of places there in Kenai to get out and enjoy the summer.
Yep.
You can watch all of Dave's stories on our streaming platforms. That is on Amazon Fire, Roku, and Apple TV. All you have to do is add the Alaska's News Source channel to your screen.
Yeah, very cool. All right, here's what's coming up at 5 here on CBS 5.
Chance for that wintry mix once we get into the weekend. By then, hopefully temperatures are cold enough that it is snow.
Yeah, Melissa no likey. You know.
I know. I mean, you don't want the slush and the
Yeah.
ice until April. Before then, it's
Yeah,
keep it as
yeah, this is coming a little early.
Yeah.
A little early.
Yeah.
All right, it's about the size of London. What am I talking about? A huge chunk of ice has calved in Antarctica. Scientists have been monitoring that 600 square mile piece of ice for a while now.
It broke off from the Brunt ice shelf.
In essence, just sort of taking you back to a time and place.
Yeah, the Airbnbs open on April 1st and run about $175 a night. And a little fun fact, Seinfeld always had Superman figures somewhere in one of his episodes. All right, maybe Cincinnati's too far away for you. Now you can have Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer in your own home. Fisher-Price is introducing a new set of little people figurines. Hey, careful, the music is gonna stay in your head for the rest of the night.
A cross between metal and ABBA.
What?
Here's Rick Damigella.